Hey,
Let's
what's
hear
up,
it.
you guys? This is WD3
Oh, yeah,
and the
I
Hill
saw
Report
that.
News Break. You know how we do. We're going to get into a very controversial story. Crooked pastors. We're talking about Jamaal Bryant and that outfit that his wife wore. I don't know what fundraiser or whatever they wore it to, but it's totally inappropriate. But listen to the excuses and what people thought about this fiasco.
Was not see-through. The dress was flesh color. I need to set the record straight. I bought the dress.
So you buying dresses now. Even the way he said that was a little questionable.
And I like it.
Why are you liking dresses
I don't
so
care whether
much?
you like it or not. She ain't married to y'all. She married to me. If you wanted a first lady that looked like Little House on the Prairie and Holly Hobbie, you got the wrong church.
Bishop Wooden, another pastor, has actually responded, and he responded from the pulpit.
A preacher presented his wife the other day, and I guess you call that a flesh-colored dress. It's black dress and flesh color. It gives the illusion that she's not wearing anything underneath. And I heard the preacher, when he defended her dress, by saying, first of all, he bought the dress. And then he said, I want to address people who don't know anything, who haven't been anywhere, who don't know nothing. So I guess our objection to a man of the cloth presenting his wife in public looking like a $2 whore. What I would like to know is, where have you been? Where did he go? So I'll make sure that I never go there. Because
And don't send your wife there. Don't send your wife.
I don't want to go anywhere.
Wow.
And I come back with that kind of a notion. Now, I will say this, and this is a comment about my wife, not his wife. This is a comment about my wife. My wife wouldn't have done it, no matter what I said.
Right.
She just would have said, honey, I'll wear this for you. I'll wear this for you at home when we know the grandkids aren't coming.
Right. Why not? If this is so much your dress and your selection, why not have that be your private situation? Why do you have to then display that to the world? It seems a little like, I don't know, like there's a lot of vaingloriousness going on here. There's a lot of showing off as if we haven't known in the church, but they want the attention of the first lady being an Instagram baddie or a real housewife of some kind. Like, you want to show your wife off. You want to show your wife's body parts to the world. Let's break it down in plain English. You would rather your wife become the object of ridicule and by your words, as the bishop has said here, you presented her to the world like this. You picked out the dress. So this is your fault. This isn't anybody talking about women. And I think that's what gets messed up in the comments. A lot of time you have women in there responding, oh, this is how a man should protect his wife. This is how a man, but no, you should not lead your wife into this path.
Jamaal Bryant, let's be honest. That dress was inappropriate and your response was inappropriate. I don't care what nobody say, but that man is not a pastor. He is an entertainer and a mass manipulator. There is a time and a place for everything. And that little speech that he gave to his congregation was not the time nor the place. He definitely could have saved that for his podcast. Let me just say this. If any of his members of his congregation would have walked in his church with such a dress on, he would have had something to say, as well as the people in that congregation. And anybody who go to church, y'all know that I'm telling the damn truth. They would have judged that woman and been so judgmental towards her that it didn't make no goddamn sense. So don't sit up there and act like we the people are sitting here overreacting. I don't give a damn how T her body is or how good she looked in that dress, whatever the case may be. The shit was inappropriate. I don't care if she actually really really wasn't showing flesh, skin, whatever the case may be. The dress was insinuating such. It was inappropriate, okay? So let's just be real. All the goddamn congregation and the people, he stood on business for his wife, whoop-de-woo. Baby, if that's what you call standing on business in a situation like that, then baby, we got bigger problems than we.
Well, folks, there you have it. You see, you guys saw the dress for yourself. Um, you be the judge of what you think about the dress. But in the United States of America, sure,
What is he defending?
you can wear what you want to wear. That's just the kind of country that we live in.
Told
Um,
y'all.
you have protections under city, state, federal law, the Constitution. But one thing that I will add to the discussion is when you say that you are a man or a
pastors.
woman of God, you are held to a different
Mm.
standard. You're not held to the standard that everyone else is held to. It even
Y'all
says
get
in the
enough of
scripture
playing with
that
God.
your blood is on people's hands. Read the book of Ezekiel chapter 3. It'll tell
Old
you
timers told
that
you don't play with
you're
God.
supposed to warn people for their sins. You're not supposed to partake in them. If you don't warn people of their sins, especially if you're knowledgeable and you're the priest,
Terrible.
then their blood is on your hands. So what you're in fact teaching other people is that it's okay to have your wife, daughter, and he claims that he bought the dress.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's okay to have them dressed
That's a shame.
basically like they're walking on the blade in Figueroa, right? Um, I don't think that's a good example. I don't think the old timers were dressed like that. I remember
Yeah.
growing up seeing the women fully dressed from head to toe with the hat on. Some of them even had the net. It was so classy. You weren't thinking thoughts about that woman. You were calling
Yeah,
her
that's
sister.
crazy.
You were calling her mother. You were calling her whatever daughter. You were not thinking of them in that way. But how can you be in that church as a heterosexual male and see a woman, and he claims that that's not a
Man.
see-through dress? He says it's just flesh colored, really good match to the flesh. It seems to a
That's
very good
crazy.
match. It seems to mimic the places that people are looking at. Um, so this is highly inappropriate in a lot of people's eyes, highly inappropriate in my eyes. And I will tell
Hey.
you that throughout the scriptures, because the lips of the priests speak knowledge,
What?
according to the
What?
book of Hosea, right? You're not
What?
supposed to be you're not supposed to be setting an example of how to sin. If
Oh my God.
Jamal Bryant, when he first got into the ministry,
What?
started reading the Bible, um, if he saw one of his members came in dressed like that, would he have been like,
Jamal
"Oh
Bryant.
man, I'm gonna buy my wife that same dress," or would he have been like, sister, you can't come into church wearing that? Um, we got uh, people around, we
That's
got
crazy.
children around. We don't really want that. But has he come so far in his ministry? Has he come so far as a
Show me
crooked
that
pastor that
scripture
he can blatantly
where you can
disregard
dress like
morals
that in
and
public.
dignity according to what book he's supposed to be preaching out of and just say, well,
People
forget
crazy.
it. We're at a fundraiser. I'm a big proponent of letting people uh, deal with their own judgment day. I'm a big proponent of letting people worship their own God and gamble on their own eternity. But I will caution
Yep.
that that is wrong. It's not
Don't
right.
make no sense.
It's flat out against everything that we teach against according to the scriptures. You're not supposed to be
Yeah.
dressed like a common um, streetwalker and call yourself a pastor. And there's a controversy according to the book of Second Timothy that says that as a woman you're not even supposed to be a pastor
Shout out to
in
the
this
old
according
timers.
to the scripture. In modern day Christianity, anything goes. You
Man.
got Anything the scripture says don't do, they go ahead and do. Everybody's pushing the boundary. Everybody's trying to get the most viral church. Everybody wants the hippest church. I saw people singing break it down to the ground in church, and everybody's twerking on the ground and the pastor's leading the charge. I saw one guy telling everybody to bring up money, and he's sea walking on the money. I've seen all these things in the church. I saw a guy walk in the church and just start welling off at the pastor because he's sleeping with his wife. I've seen all these things on the internet. Who wants to be a part of that? It seems that the church is dying because of crooked pastors like Jamaal Bryant, who when is the last time this guy's ever picked up his Bible? When is the last time this guy's ever listened to a scripture? The only thing he's going to tell you is what feels good to bring money out of your pocket and into his pocket so that he could have more fundraisers. And basically, the next fundraiser, his wife's going to come in a bikini, and then he's going to say it's not a bikini, it's a flesh colored dress. And all I'm telling you guys is that if you're buying this crap, according to the book of, I believe, Zechariah, a lot of these pastors are going to start denying that they've ever been pastors because the people are waking up and they're going to start holding them accountable, and they're going to start saying, hey, I want to be on the right side of God. I'm seeing all these things happening around the world. I'm seeing wars. I'm seeing famine. I'm seeing hunger. I want to know what God really wants me to do with my life. And you got to ask that question to a guy who's got his wife philandering across the stage, basically with nothing on, a see-through diamonds glued to her flesh. Like, this is ridiculous. And I don't even have to tell people to wake up, because all I'm saying is, if you keep funding this guy, if you keep attending this church, if you keep supporting these people, then you're going to be in the same boat with them. Even TD Jakes, as charismatic as he was, he even had to succumb to the pressure because people want to know what's right. We're bombing Venezuela. We got people threatening us with nukes. We got people threatening to invade our country. We have out of control government that we are not even behind the actions that they're doing. We want to know, if we die today, will we be able to go to heaven or will we go to hell? We're asking the key people who claim that they're the keys and the portals to God. We're asking them these questions, and they're parading their wives across the stage naked. At this time, when we all know, our grandparents were saying that we were in the last days back in the day. And now the things that we read about in prophecy are happening right before our eyes. And we got pastors who are not interpreting prophecy for us, who are not telling us what Venezuelan invasion means. What does it mean when Russia and Ukraine? What does it mean when Israel and Iran are fighting? What does all these things mean prophetically? You can't ask these questions to these guys, because all they want is your money. All they want is to drive a fancier car. All they want is a private jet. These guys are not trying to tell you anything the scripture wants you to do, because if they tells you to open up the Bible, it would condemn every single thing that these guys do. From the time they wake up to the time they go to sleep, every scripture will cut these guys from limb to limb. Do not have your daughter or your wife running around in a flesh colored dress that you bought for a fundraiser for your church. Shame on you. You're an absolute ass clown. Jamaal Bryant, I think I've heard of your name before, but I don't even know who you are, because I wouldn't listen to 2 words that you have to say. You sound like you probably like men, is what you sound like. You sound like you like men. You sound exactly like the guys who like men sound.
Fake.
That's how you sound to me. That's not representative of how to teach young men how to be men, how to be heads of families, how to be husbands, how to be fathers.
Stop playing with God.
That's teaching your congregation how to pimp out your wife for a fundraiser. Absolute clown behavior.
Repent.
You've been a clown. Nobody called you out on it because
Dude's
people
crazy.
like your attendance. You're a clown, Jamaal Bryant.